All right, awesome. Well, hi everyone, welcome. I am so glad to see all of you here. And when Ashley presented the idea to do this and like have this kind of call, I was so gung-ho about it. Like I was so excited and honestly honored that she wanted to create that with me. So you guys are all also creating this right now, and I very much appreciate you for it. And it's just cool to open this space. So the topic today, um, from the little flyer that some of you may have seen, is embodied abundance. And for me, abundance means like flowing water, like overflowing water, like just it never ends. It just keeps flowing, and it fills and touches everything around it. Like if something were to flood, like water will just be spread all across the room, and there's just an unending. That's not a great scenario. Maybe a waterfall would be better, but um, yeah. So for me, abundance is just like that unending flow, something that touches everything around it and can spread easily. And how I have been able to tap into abundance lately is through seeing myself in that light and seeing myself as abundant, um, despite whatever is happening in my life. Like my current reality, that's just a condition, that's something that'll pass. But the mindset of abundance is something that we can all tune into and continue forward. And um, on this call, we are talking specifically about Purium as a vehicle for abundance and finding that place within us to have that feeling of power and like that continuous flow, that touches everyone and reaches so many people. And I'm going to give you guys just a story about how I got into this work and how I met Ashley. And really, like, it's been such a journey ever since that. So I actually am a personal trainer. That is my current main job. I'm also a pet sitter, which I love so much. And my personal training business was going well, and I was kind of like, I want to expand this in some direction. Like I have people, but I know that I only get paid when I'm meeting people, and that's it. And sometimes I can't meet people. So what would be great is if I have supplemental income from those people while I'm also training them. And so I started looking around at different companies and different supplements, and nutrition, something that really matters to me. And the more I looked at them, the more I was like, oh, I don't want to like sell all this plastic to people. I care about the environment a lot too. And like that was one of the big factors. I was like, oh, I don't want to be responsible for all this waste and plastic and stuff in the world. Like when I'm meeting with people, there's no waste, there's just upliftment. So um, I was really honestly pretty resistant to working with any other products besides something that I really thought was good for people and the planet. And I was telling one of my friends that, and she's like, oh my gosh, have you heard of Purium? And I was like, no, I haven't. And she just started talking about how much she loves the green drink and the apothecary, which is the tart cherry juice, and that the company was super committed to wellness and sustainability. And I was like, what? No way. And I looked into it that night and was like, wow, this is really cool. She let me borrow a book that the owner actually wrote, the co-owner of the company wrote. And it was all about the healing power of greens and just the untapped potential of superfoods that, and I say untapped because a lot of people don't know about it and don't have that awareness that these plants are very powerful and can really impact people. And what's funny is this friend doesn't even work for Purium. She knew someone who did, and um, like she just loved the products and wanted to share it with me. And so I'm like, okay, this company's got what I want. Like, it sounds like great products. And I tried to order some and I didn't have a code. So my friend sent me Ashley's code. And I bought my first lifestyle transformation because I saw that that Purium really emphasized the cleanses. And I'm like, okay, I can't recommend that to people until I try it myself. I'm just that kind of person. So the first thing I bought was the lifestyle transformation, which is a 10-day fast. I ended up doing 3 or 4 days of it the first time, and I couldn't believe how clear-minded I was on the third day. Like I was just like unleashed. Like I felt like, wow, I can really do this business. Like I really see this being such a powerful tool for people. I don't even feel like I need food right now, which like it was 3 days of like just green drinks and cucumbers. And I really didn't feel like I needed food. And I was like, this is really incredible. Like I want other people to feel this. And so I ended up signing up after that. And I had no idea how it was structured at all. Like I just thought that I would put in a code and, get my launch pack and be selling these products. And turns out, I put in someone's code and immediately I was her downline and working with her. And she emailed me and was like, hey, I want to meet and see what's up. And thank you for buying the launch pack and all of that. And I didn't even know who Ashley was really. Like I had just started following her. So when we actually talked, I got the whole setup and I got that this isn't just me on my own selling something. It's a community. It's connections with people that wouldn't have happened otherwise. And it's just been so beautiful actually getting to know Ashley. And we met last summer in California when I went to the Purium Summit. And she's just such a bright, beautiful spirit and so strong. And actually, to be like authentic with you guys, this morning I was really in it. Like I was crying, I was not having a good morning. And I texted Ashley, I'm like, hey, like, this is my current situation. And like, I know we had a call that we were going to have, but I just don't know what to do. And she just reached out and said like, hey, if you want someone to process this with, I'm here. And we talked. I felt so much better afterwards. And I felt so held and like, just cared for by Ashley. And it's so beautiful that like, I have that support now and that I'm like, trusting people to be authentic and like cry in front of, even though like I've only met her in person once. And it's just really magical to have a team of people supporting us, because I personally believe that we all want huge lives. We all want to be our most expanded version of ourselves. And when we try to do that alone, it's next to impossible. Like we have a lot of potential, I think, within just working on ourselves by ourselves. But then when we're ready to expand and actually like make an impact, we really do want to tap into other people and feedback and encouragement. And the being part of Purium has set me up for having that, and like having the people to support me to get to what I want, which is eventually owning a lot of homes and living across the country, traveling and being able to work from home or on the road. And I didn't see that fully as possible until recently. And so I've been signed up with Purium for a year. I've definitely had like sales and like connections with people that I've really enjoyed. Like I have a friend who's hooked on the Power Shake now, and it's so funny. He eats McDonald's all the time and like fast food, but he'll drink like 3 Power Shakes a day. And yeah, I'm so happy that he is, and that like he was intrigued by it at all. And so I've gotten a few connections with people through it, but it wasn't until recently that I actually saw myself as able to do it. And embodied abundance is really that, like seeing ourselves as able to have such a strong influence on our communities, on our networks. And like, it's just so crazy to me that I'd put in effort. I was trying to get my business going, but I wasn't lined up with it. Like there was still my limiting beliefs of like, well, you know, why would anyone want to do work with me or buy something from me, or like I don't want to impose on people. And it was all just like it was all just like I didn't see myself as someone that people could trust and want to work with. And I realized how crazy that was. Like I really just got present to like, that's not true at all. And I know there's so many people in my life that love me, and so much influence that I can have, and that I've gotten evidence of too. And it's just like, that was more of me trying to do things on my own, right? Like I was in my head about it. I was thinking that I was a certain way. And the more I talked to people and the more I opened up, I realized like, no, that's not me. I'm love, I'm abundance, I'm peace, I'm worthy, I'm well-being, and that's what I want to connect other people with. And I really do feel like that's my purpose here on this planet, is connecting people to their power. And it's not always going to be easy, and it probably would be easier just to like not talk to people and stay in my shell. But it's at the same time not, because we all want to expand, we all want to be our most potential, and when we don't line up with that and we don't act in that way, it feels really bad. It feels very like there's so much resistance and holding back from unleashing like who we are. And so yeah, it would be easy to be alone, but it also wouldn't be, because I wouldn't be becoming who I know that I can be. And I'm really happy that you all are here right now and like showing up in your lives and wanting to expand yourselves and see, and you see your potential, you see the wellness, you see the financial wellness, and that's what it takes, is having that vision first and foremost. It doesn't matter what your current situation is, whatever is currently your physical manifestation. What matters is the direction you're going in, and whether or not we're resisting it while we're going, or if we're just like leaning into it, leaning into what scares us, leaning into what we see for ourselves, and not making up things about ourselves that aren't true. Because we all are worthy and we all are super capable. So Ashley, is there anything else you want to add to that?
No, it was so good. That was amazing. I thank you, Amanda. It was really beautiful. I would love to just see in the comments here, everybody can click participants and that will take you to chat, or click chat. But if you were resonating with anything Amanda said, just drop a 1 in the comments. Like any of that resonated with you. I'm just gonna like give Amanda some
Someone.
No, that was really, really beautiful. I know we were gonna maybe hold space for people to share what abundance, meant for them. Maybe we can get to that at the end if we have time. And
Okay.
does that feel good?
Yeah, great.
Oh, that was amazing. I'm really honored to know you, Amanda. I'm honored to work with you and just to be in this process with you. Like, Purium really has brought so many amazing people into my life, and I'm honored to be here with all of you. And for those of you that may not know me, my name is Ashley Castro, and I know Amanda shared a little bit about how we met. Just a little bit of my backstory and what in terms of abundance and this idea and concept of abundance. Abundance was not a word that I think was even in my vocabulary 10 years ago. I grew up in San Diego in Southern California. My dad is a high school teacher. My mom is also in education, but chose to stay home and homeschool me because I couldn't do normal school because I'm a different artistic creative kid. And sacrifice that income. So on an income, a teacher's salary, we lived a good life, not an extremely luxurious life by any means, but we were certainly blessed and very privileged. And my parents were always about exposing us to what was going on in the world. From a very young age, I started going down to Mexico, going to orphanages, really started being exposed to basically what I saw from a very early age, this distribution of wealth that was so backwards, that was so messed up. As a child, I just couldn't wrap my mind around why there were kids in this orphanage with, hardly even like a blanket or clean toys or clean things. And yet there were people living in these gigantic mansions, and like, it just didn't make any sense. Has anybody ever felt that? Have you ever felt like, man, the distribution of wealth on this planet is messed up? It's messed up, right? The 99%, the 1%, and all of that. Oh, it gets me like shaky. So many, many years ago, from a very early age, probably in high school, I started looking at money as the root of all evil, and kind of took on this rebel idea of like, I don't want anything to do with money. Money is just horrible. Get money away from me. Like, sticky money. Let's barter. Let's trade. I started out going into the world like as a hairstylist, a cosmetologist. I wanted to just trade all my services. I was like, let's just trade clothing and trade food and like forget about money. Like, we don't need money, right? So I went down that path for a while, got really passionate about self-sustainability, regenerative agriculture. I wanted to grow all my own food. I wanted to make all my own clothes. I wanted to start a commune. I wanted to just like live off grid, get away from society. I started going in that direction. I moved up from San Diego. I moved up to Santa Cruz on an acre of redwood, wild redwood forest. We were living pretty much off grid up there, starting a little homestead, just learning how to take care of the land, how to nurture the land. Simultaneously, I had gone through this experience with health and with food where when I was, I was 20, 21, and my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. At this point, my diet was typical classic American diet. I knew a little bit about health, as I think everyone does, like eat your vegetables, eat your fruits, but that was about it. My mom had seen a lot of her friends go through cancer, go through traditional Western medicine treatment of chemo and radiation, end up wildly sick from the treatment, and many of them lost their lives anyways. My mom, being the amazing superwoman that she is, really decided to seek out an alternative to this, which was crazy. She sat us down. I'll never forget. She sat down, my family, my four sisters, my three sisters and I, and said, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I think it was stage 3 breast cancer. The doctors basically say that if I don't do chemo and radiation, I'm going to die, and I'm not going to do it. And we're like, what? Like trauma crying. And she's like, however, I have been researching. I found this program called Hallelujah Acres, people who are healing themselves from cancer, people who are going on massive transformations. They're cleansing, they're detoxing, they're regenerating their cells. She's telling me how our cells, we make new cells every, 3 to 5 days. Our bodies have the ability to regenerate, and we're building them based on what we're eating and putting in our bodies. And I'm like, my mom's like, I'm going to start doing wheatgrass and carrot juice. And I'm like, oh, okay. Wow. This is amazing. This is amazing. Long story short, I could go into like my whole story with that. 11 months later, my mom was in full remission. And that changed my life so powerfully and set me on a trajectory to really see how so many of the things in this world that felt very permanent, diseases, illness, I'll speak to there's a whole other story here of like emotional illness. I had been diagnosed as being depressed, having bipolar, having adult ADHD, having anxiety, all these things. I had been medicated for all these things. I was in psychiatry from a young age. Like my mom healing herself from cancer with plants, basically, just opened my whole reality to a new one. So I dove into just educating myself as much as I could on self-healing, on changing my thought patterns, on changing, getting stress out of my life, like really stepping into this idea of living abundantly in my physical body and having abundance. So that's all happening, right? So like all this stuff happens in my life. I get to this point, now fast forward many years later, I'm getting ready to become a mom. And I was still working, hustling a bunch of jobs. Everybody does, right? I was a barista. I was doing hair. I was working as a nanny. I was doing all sorts of things, but I was always really passionate also about health and wellness. I really wanted to do something in the health and wellness world because I was so passionate about bringing this knowledge to people and letting people know, like, wow, did you know what wheatgrass can do for you? Oh my gosh, So I felt very passionate about sharing all of this. And when I found out I was pregnant with my first daughter, I was like, surprise, you're pregnant, you're going to be a mom. My partner at the time, my now husband, we felt very convicted that we would stay home and like raise our children, that like one of us or both of us would be home to raise our kids. We just like, we're not okay with other people raising our kids, putting them in like daycare, the school system, all of that. So I decide, okay, this is the perfect opportunity for me to really do it, for me to become like the entrepreneur that I've wanted to be, to put all of my skills, all of my knowledge to work. And I'm going to create content. I started like making my own juice cleanse. I started blogging and creating all this natural health and wellness content. And I very quickly realized that I was not going to be able to create the type of impact that I wanted with what I was doing. I got into creative burnout. I got into the solo entrepreneur burned out. There's a whole story there of many years. Many of you know this story. And that's when you met me, when I was like in this crazy, like running my Etsy shop, creating all this content, just trying to give my gifts out into the world and like considering going back to school, maybe for so many things that I wanted to do. Maybe now I can do like an Ayurvedic practitioner, or maybe I'll do Chinese medicine, or maybe I'll go to massage therapy school. Like I just want to help people heal. So I realized then I had done so much work around this idea of abundance and really believing that, and I had come to this point of believing that abundance was our birthright and that health and wellness was our birthright, and that the world actually just had it all messed up and had it all backwards. And I had this vision. What if everybody on the planet was given $5,000 a month just for being alive and to go live your gifts? Right now, I know that sounds to me like a crazy concept, but if you just think about it for a minute, what if you were given $5,000 a month just for existing? Michelle, you're so beautiful. You exist. You're here. Here's $5,000. Allison, thanks for being here. Thanks for existing and showing up and breathing and contributing to this planet. Here's $5,000. Will you go and relax and get a massage and then just tune into your gifts and share those with the world? Right? Like, that sounds amazing. So I really took this amazing kind of dreamy idea that I had and started seeing like, is there a way to actually make this a reality? And the first thing I realized that I needed to do was to heal my relationship with money. And this is when the word abundance came into my life. Has anybody ever thought about like money as a relationship? Like drop a 2 in the comments if you've ever thought about money as a relationship, like that you actually have a relationship with money. So I started realizing that I had a relationship with money, and that my relationship with money was like, get out of my life. You're the worst. I hate you. I don't want anything to do with you. That's probably why I also always struggled and didn't have a lot of money, is because if you think about everything just being energy and money just being this energy, if I'm like, you're the worst, like you stress me out, I'm always worried about you. I'm always worried if I'm going to have enough. When I do have you, I'm like anxious if you're going to like stay with me. Like if you think about it as a relationship, money would be wanting to walk out your door so fast, right? They'd be like, see you later. And I realized that was happening. I realized that I woke up and I think I realized that everybody who was doing massive big things in the world, mostly for the destruction of this planet and the destruction of the people, it was the people who had a lot of money, like massive amounts of money, the millionaires and the billionaires. Those are the people that are really doing big things, right? And I was like, what if more conscious, heart-centered people had abundance, had millions of dollars flowing in or billions or whatever it is, so that we could actually turn around? Because I know conscious heart-centered people wouldn't be stocking all that up and like buying yachts, right? We would be turning around and we would be putting it back into this earth, back into the people, like changing the system completely. And like that needs to happen. I'm getting worked up because I feel so passionate about this. So all that being said, I realized that's what needed to happen. And Purium came in as this beautiful divine vehicle to support me to make that happen. Essentially, Purium was offering these 3 pillars that meant so much to me and fueled so much of what I'm passionate about. Health. Purium offers people quick, like easy, accessible. You know, Amanda mentioned McDonald's. People eat at McDonald's because it's easy, it's accessible, and it's consistent, you know? Purium is like the same thing, only it's really healthy for you. It was easy, it was quick, it was accessible. And when I first started looking into the ingredients and first started looking into the whole product line is based on this idea of detoxing, supporting your body to do what it already does. Like your liver is already a detoxing machine. It just supports your body to do that. And nourishment, like detox and nourishment. And I looked at all the ingredients, I looked at everything, and I saw like, this is basically exactly what my mom did to like heal herself from cancer. Like, yeah, this is the jam. It's like filled with antioxidants, filled with easy to digest protein, filled with those like high nutrient dense greens, those things that are really going to shift you on a cellular level. So I saw all of this and I was like, wow, they also have CBD. I'm very passionate about cannabis and I'm very passionate about herbal medicine. And I think that CBD needs to be in the more and more hands of people. So they had all of these things from a health and wellness standpoint that I could really get behind. The purity, the potency. I mean, I got in there with my little, like, my high standards, toured the facilities, met the owners, like asked every question I could possibly ask, you know, and I was like, if I'm going to do something with health and wellness and I'm not making it on my own, it's not like Ashley's juice cleanse and I'm going to be like, here, do Purium's cleanse. Like I want to be able to stand by it as if I had made it. And so Purium checked that box for me. Health, like beautiful, amazing stuff. Then also in terms of like the wealth, they really had that going as well. They created this beautiful peer-to-peer sharing system that works basically like this. When I share with someone about this amazing, you know, let's say the products, and I'm like, hey, this is an amazing thing to do for your health. Get yourself some wheatgrass, get yourself some power shake. People are like, yeah, awesome. Everybody loves referral marketing. I give someone my code, they put their code in, that code in, and they get $50 off whatever they want to buy. So you get to give your friends a discount. So Purium has their like affiliate marketing. You put in your discount code, your friend gets a discount, and then I earn a 20% commission on the dollar amount that people spend when they use my code. And that's their affiliate marketing program that's open to anybody to use. If you're out there and you're the one sharing, just like Uber, Lyft, Airbnb, everybody has like a, hey, tell your friends about us. Give them this code to use. They get $5 off their next ride and you get $5 off your next ride. It's like this whole peer-to-peer sharing because nobody wants to be advertised to by like big corporations and fake commercials. So who doesn't want to hear like Amanda, your homegirl that you love and trust, saying, hey, I drink this power shake. It's amazing. You're going to love it. You're like, oh, cool. So Purium wants to honor Amanda for sharing that. And Purium, we don't pay people to advertise. We don't pay for commercials or billboards or like have our stuff in stores even. We're not trying to support Whole Foods or Amazon. They have plenty of money. We really believe that paying people is smart business and that direct peer-to-peer sharing is really smart business and is maybe one of our only hopes for shifting the financial paradigm. Everybody could agree that this whole 99.1% is messed up. What's a really powerful way that we can put money back into the hands of people? We can stop paying and we can vote with our dollars with everything, with like the food we're buying, the businesses we're supporting. So I'm all about supporting my friends' businesses. If you have a business, please let me know so I can support you and share about it, because I'm all about like, how can we support the collective and put more money into the hands of people that we love, who is going to like circulate that money back into the earth. Woo! You feel me on that? So I'll move quickly here through my story so we have plenty of time for like questions and just, you know, getting into like why you're here and why this, you know, this is my story and this is Amanda's story, but we're totally curious, like, what's your story? Why are you here? So when Purium came into my life, I was very clear that what I also needed to create, and what all of the people that had big money who were doing big things created, was I needed passive income. I didn't have enough hours in the day to make the amount of money, to make the amount of impact that I wanted to make. So passive income. If you know what if you don't know what passive income is, drop a 3 in the comments. If you're like, I'm not quite sure what passive income is, drop a 3 in the comments, just so I can see if we should like go over that or not. If you're, you guys know what passive income is, you're all super smart. I didn't know what this was a while ago. Now everybody knows that. Everyone's like, yeah, we all need passive income, right? How about this? Drop a 3 in the comments if you want passive income. If you're like, passive income, that sounds great, I want passive income. I personally believe that we all deserve to make money while we sleep. So passive income is essentially this idea that you have something that pays you when you're not actively there. Active income is the dollar per hour business model. When you are in the active income dollar per hour business model, you only get paid if you show up and you clock in. That's pretty much what most people are stuck in, and what most people actually despise is that they go and like build someone else's dream from 9 to 5 and clock in for this job. Here are some ways of making passive income, what passive income looks like. For example, if you're an artist and you create, well, I'll give you an example right here for me. I am a writer, I'm an author, I also love to cook. I just wrote my own cookbook. It's an e-cookbook and you can buy it online on my website. Now, I spent time creating that content, but now that that content is up there and it's done, every time someone goes and buys it, that is passive income for me. I am not actively showing up and doing anything. It's just out there in the internet land and people go and they buy it, and that's passive income. I water that income stream, of course, when I like remind people that I have a cookbook, but it's hands off for me, the actual transaction process. Does that make sense? So I was on this path to create passive income for myself a couple years ago when I found out I was pregnant with my second baby. I was like, okay, let me create passive income. I was going to create courses, workshops, all sorts of stuff. Just to create that content and do all that stuff on my own was such an investment of time, creative energy. I was also, again, in that kind of like solo entrepreneur hamster wheel. So in aligning with Purium, what I have been able to do is essentially leverage my time, my energy, and my impact by not doing this on my own. I have been able to bring other people who are looking for this, whether it's to change their health or to change their financial paradigm. I'm able to do that with other people, and our impact is so much greater. So the other pillar, just real quick, and then I'm going to open it up, is community. One of the things that I was really looking for and I really believe so much in is community. I don't think that we can do this alone. If we are part of the 99%, which I'm assuming that we all are, like, we have so much power together. We have so much power together. But if we're not unified, we can't do anything. And that's why the powers that prevail have been in power for so long. So one of the things that really drew me to Purium is that it was a community that was all unifying our energy and like unifying on this mission to really bring practices that are going to be good for people and good for the planet, and to support people to heal, to step into their gifts, to have that ability to flourish. So I will leave you with this analogy, and this is really for me what Purium has been for me. if I had a candle, one candle, and I had 2,000 people standing in front of me with candles in their hand as well, and I lit my candle, like one of those little, like, let's say white candles, okay? I lit my candle, and I tried to go around and light all 2,000 candles with my own candle. Do you think that I would be able to do that before my candle like burnt out? Probably not. 2,000 candles, like that's a lot. Picture 2,000 people and me running around with my one candle. Either the wind is going to extinguish it, it's going to totally burn out and just not even exist anymore, right? Something's going to happen. Now, if I lit the candle of everybody around me that was like was right in my immediate sphere, I lit those candles and I said, hey, turn around and light the candle of the person behind you. And then they said, hey, turn around and light the person of the candle behind you. We would be able to light all those candles, right? No problem. And that is essentially what aligning with Purium has allowed me to do. It has allowed me to bring the gift of health and wellness, the gift of community, and to many, the gift of financial abundance. I have been able to reach 2,000 people in my past couple of years working with Purium and bring this magic and medicine into their lives without going into burnout. And I've been able to do that through this model of essentially each one teach one, and together we rise. So abundance for me is everybody having their candles lit and everybody lighting other people's candles without anybody going into burnout. Woo! That's my vision, that we just like light up the whole world in that way. So that was a little bit longer than I was wanting to share, but I'm going to pause there and turn it back over to Amanda, and then we can just open it up for questions. I didn't go into detail about products. I didn't go into detail about those things because it just wasn't feeling like as, relevant in this moment. If people do want to talk specific products on this call, I'm happy to. I'll drop a link. I'll just share real quick, I guess, my recommendation. If you're looking to get like the full Purium experience and really see like what Purium has to offer, our flagship foundational offering is called the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation. It is the opportunity to really get a little deep dive and saturate your body with the nutrients. There's several different schedules that you can do. Intermittent fasting, you can do a really slow, just kind of trickle one that takes about 2 months. You can do a deep dive and do like a 10-day intensive cleanse, like how Amanda was talking about. Michelle's on her 30-day right now, 6 months pregnant, feeling so amazing. The products are unreal, you guys. You're gonna feel like superhumans. It's so true what it does to get this magic into our bodies. But so the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation is the pack that I would recommend if you're looking at something to get started. And a really beautiful thing that comes with that pack right now, if you were feeling resonant with this whole idea of financial abundance, the way that it works with Purium is essentially just peer-to-peer sharing. You give your friends a discount code and they get a little hookup. So those discount codes, they come in these little packs that people will usually buy. There's ways to get it for free. Also, influencers, different people can get them for free. But right now, we're letting everybody get that pack for free because we're like really on a mission to scale our reach. Right now, more than ever, we're just feeling like we're faced with tyranny on all sides, from like the pharmaceutical industry, the agriculture industry. And it's like, okay, we've got to level up our game now. So rather than basically like charging people to start this business, if you get the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation Pack, we're just letting you come in for free. Like we're just giving you the business for free. We're giving you a Shopify website for a year, an app that you can use to share everything, all of your affiliate codes, all of these amazing like trainings, community support. Just by getting the pack of superfoods, you can also get that right now. So ta-da! That's all I gotta say. Okay, that was a lot. Thank you all for being here, listening to me. Let's turn it back over to Amanda. And then Amanda, if you want to open it up, we can totally do that.
Great. That was amazing, Ashley. I honestly haven't heard that story about, your mom and what really got you on that trajectory. Really powerful. But yeah, I would love to hear from you guys and see if you have questions. And another topic that I want to put in the space is like, what does abundance mean to you? Both Ashley and I shared how we see abundance, and it's just going to be cool to hear other people's response, because I think it does have a different meaning for everyone, with similarities. So yeah, opening up the space. So if you have a question, just take yourself off of mute and say hi. Hey Martin, you're off of mute. Did you want to say something?
What was the question again? It was about abundance, correct?
Right. What does abundance mean for you?
It's kind of like being a plant that doesn't have to worry about where the water comes from. You just know that it's always coming and that you're going to be able to bloom, you know?
Yeah. Beautiful.
I don't want to have to worry about where my financial income is coming from, because I have more important things to put into my field of vision, more things to focus on besides monetary wealth. But I do want monetary wealth.
Got you.
So I would like it to flow to me without worry, being within a flow without worrying.
Well, it's really hard to flow when you're worried, right? If you're in a state of shortage or stress and you're worried about money, like you're not showing up as your full self usually, and blooming, like you said, like a plant. Really good analogy. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? I guess we must have just given very clear and very good examples of everything. So no one has questions. It's a good thing.
No, that's amazing. Thanks so much, Martin, for sharing. I want to just
All
acknowledge,
right, cool.
yeah, I want to acknowledge that opening up this conversation is a conversation that I've been opening up since I partnered with Purium. Even before I partnered with Purium, when I realized that money was a relationship, right? We're talking about abundance and embodying that. It's hard to embody abundance when we have a funky relationship with money or when we're in stress around money. Does anybody feel current like stress around money right now? Drop a 1 in the comments if you feel stressed about money right now. Like when you think about money, if you feel like a little bit of a tightness, maybe in your, where do you feel that tightness? For me, when I feel tightness about money, it's usually like my heart, like my throat, and also kind of feel it like in my tummy. You can feel it all over your body, in your chest. Yeah. So stress about money. It's kind of challenging when we're talking about abundance. We're like, abundance, step into this flow. Like we all can be conscious millionaires. And then people are like, oh my God, how am I gonna like even pay my, my cell phone bill? My phone's gonna get shut off. My So I just want to say that I was very much in that situation, having little babies several years ago, getting into credit card debt to be able to pay for diapers, getting on food stamps. Like the weight of money is so real, right? Like I really want to acknowledge that can be easy to come on here and be like, yeah, abundance, abundance, abundance is our birthright. Let's like have a party. But I want to also hold space for like the real weight and heaviness of what the opposite of that is, and like what the opposite of that looks like. And like standing in line to get groceries and wondering if, you know, like you have little babies there and you're like wondering if your debit card, if it's going to go through, if you have enough money. Like no one should have to feel that way, or like people having to pay all their money to take care of their parents because their parents' health are in decline, or, you know, my dad investing like all the money that they had into like real estate, and then the real estate market crashing back when it crashed, and seeing them lose everything. Like money, it can hurt so much, right? When we don't have it or when it's taken away from us. And it's like, so I just want to acknowledge and hold space for anybody that's feeling that stress of money right now, because certainly when I heard about Purium, I was not in a space of like abundance. I was in a space of, I don't even have money to like buy that power shake. I don't even have money to buy like one product, even with your $50 discount code. Like, thanks, but you know, that's where I was at. Does anybody else feel that? Like, yeah, this is all right. Yeah. So yeah, Michelle's like, I'm living in my van waiting for tax returns, you know? That for me, I kind of saw one of two options. It was like either money was going to just become this thing that destroyed the rest of my life and kept me feeling like a prisoner and kept me feeling tight and small, or I was going to just stand up and decide to do something about it. And I didn't know what that was. I made that decision before Purium came to me. But like my story is that I actually very divinely, I don't know if any of you follow me on social media, but I made a post. I'm crying like on this picture. And I had just made a post of like my husband and our two daughters, and just talking about how like the struggle and how the current financial like economic paradigm didn't support families or humans at all to thrive, and how it was so unfair. And I just said, I don't know how I'm going to change this, but I know that I have to. I want my family to be able to be together if we want. Like we deserve that, right? Like we deserve to not feel stressed. You all deserve to not feel stressed about money right now. Like you deserve that. You are worth that just because you are here and you are alive. But the bridge from here to there can feel really daunting. And so I just want to extend this and say that like I was not in a place of, you know, flowing with all of this, but I believed and I had the vision and I wanted to make a change. And so I did that for myself. I really did that for myself. And I did it through this vehicle of Purium. I did it through, you know, like the work that everything shifted for my husband too. Like when we stepped into this, so much changed just because we made that decision. So if you feel called to this, but you also maybe feel the resistance in yourself, it feels inaccessible, or whatever might be coming up for you, I would love to just like hop on a phone call and just have a conversation, because if I can help or support anybody to make this work for them, that's what someone did for me. Literally, the woman that introduced me to this, like bought stuff from, like bought crystals off of me. Like we had an Etsy shop. She bought crystals off of me. I think she like bought one of my old baby carriers. She just supported me to make it happen. And we pawned off my husband's guitar. Like we did stuff to make this happen. We did stuff, you know, we weren't like, we've got, you know, money. We pulled together $500 and we didn't have a car. We were like on food stamps. We were in debt, but I saw the vision and I knew that like, I'm going to just tell a different story for myself and break out of this story of like poverty. Basically, I was in poverty mentality and in lack mentality. So I was like, I'm ready to break out of this. And if that's you and you're also ready to break out of this, that's what our community is all about. And Amanda and I, or whoever invited you here, we are here to lock arms with you and start writing a new story. So a big part of that and like shifting that belief and changing those beliefs is getting these superfoods into your body. Because if you believe like that the body and the mind and the soul, like that everything's connected, like if you believe that everything's connected, drop a 1 in the comments. Like that what your mind, your heart, like everything's influenced, right, by each other. Okay. So if everything's connected and you're wanting to bring change in, for me, I've found the easiest, most accessible place to touch in on to make that change is the physical body. It's easier to change what you're doing in your physical body than it is to maybe like repattern your mind or like repattern your thoughts or, you know, make these big changes. But you do have a lot of power over like, am I going to pick up a soda or am I going to pick up a green drink? So when we start to make like those powerful shifts in our physical body, I've found that the mind and the heart and all of that usually tends to follow. So can't recommend everybody enough to get themselves on this ultimate lifestyle transformation, because it really will transform your whole life, not just your physical body. It's really, really a powerful thing. So that's all I got to say. I will open it up now one more time for any questions or just feedback, thoughts. If anybody wants to just pop off mute and share, how does this all feel for you? How is this landing for you? I would just love to hear some more voices.
I just wanted to say that growing up, I was really heavily invested in eating sweets. Still have a huge sweet tooth. I didn't like vegetables that much. But eventually in high school, I realized the overall importance of health, but I was kind of still trying to struggle with my childhood eating habits and getting used to eating vegetables. I recently watched this video of a parasite being pulled off of a hornet, and in the comment, the doctor states that the parasite can affect how the hornet actually lives in its entire mind state and drive them like rabid, essentially. I really
Did Martin freeze for everyone else or was it just me?
Yeah, he froze for me too. No.
That was so good though. I was like, wait, what? So true, so true. Like the parasites in your body right now are controlling you. They are controlling you. Parasites in your body make you crave things that you don't want. They give you brain fog. I mean, get those parasites out of your body. The ultimate lifestyle transformation is a part of supporting you to do that. It supports to get the parasites out. It supports your body to switch to an alkaline state. Disease can only thrive in an acidic atmosphere. So ultimate lifestyle transformation, y'all, it is like the portal to really shifting things around for yourself. So yeah, those parasites.
Yeah, what I got about that recently actually was like, so fasting and like not eating the foods that usually balance us emotionally or we use to balance emotionally, like it's challenging, like to stop drinking coffee and stop eating sugar. Like it takes something for sure. And what I've gotten from the cleanses is like that extra support of releasing those things that I'm addicted to. And like with this conversation, it's not even me who's addicted, it's the bacteria in my gut. It's whatever is habitually there and like running the ship. And so doing the cleanse, like that just extra support of the greens and the probiotics, getting the good bacteria in, like by the end of the transformation, I didn't really want the sweets. I didn't really want junk food. Like I felt good and pure. And I think that's just the result of getting that stuff out and putting good stuff in. it was really mind-blowing for me. Really, I've done water fasting too. It's not nearly as supportive. But you're on your own with water fasting. you're, you're just at the mercy of however addicted you are to food. For sure, and any other emotional attachment. So I think Martin hopped back on.
Okay, I was just gonna say also, I just put a link here and maybe people can let me know if it's actually working. I put a link in the comments. You can also reach out to whoever invited you here and ask them to send this directly to you. But for people who wanted more in-depth info on the products that I was recommending, like the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation, it touches on everything Amanda was saying as well, like healing our gut so much. Like the gut-brain connection is so powerful. So this protocol also comes with really powerful things to heal your gut as well. So I dropped the link there in the comments for everybody to see. And this is recorded as well. So if this resonates with you and you want to share this with anybody, if you're thinking about doing this ultimate lifestyle transformation, the way that I got started with this is I got that pack and I just invited a couple people that I thought would resonate with it to do it with me. And it was like my mom and my girlfriend Jessica and a couple of people, and just by me sharing my code with them, like I got my first pack paid for before it even got to me, before my products even arrived. I was able to just share with a couple people, give them my code and have that paid for. So that's the other part of this business model, is like we really do want to support people to get these products into their lives. So this peer-to-peer sharing model allows us to do that, which is really amazing. Awesome, beautiful. Well, I know we're at the top of our hour. Does anybody have any questions before we go? Because we're totally happy to hold space for that if anybody does. Otherwise, thank you all so much for joining. I'm so glad everybody came. I have a question, because feedback would just be so, it's so beneficial, right? We love feedback. So if you are brand new, if like you have never, I know there are a couple people here that they're here because they invited people to come, but if you're here because you had never heard about Purium before, you don't really know what we're doing, like how was this for you? Maybe you can just even leave feedback in the comments. Oh, I'm seeing right here, no questions, but this was really great. Thanks, Allison. Cool. Yeah, I was just wondering, like, was this helpful? Was this beneficial? We really want, Amanda and I were just talking, and some other girls on my team were just talking about like sustainable ways to share what we have with people. So yeah, did this feel like you guys got the download pretty clearly through this, through this way? Cool. Awesome. Beautiful. Melissa, good? Was it good for you? Was this clear? Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for being here. And oh, awesome, Kara. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. And Martin, thanks for showing up, and Jen and Michelle. And I just really also want to acknowledge Amanda, because we live in a culture and in a society that really does not support or encourage people to stand up and to shine and to use their gifts. We don't live in a culture or society that encourages people to, especially women, open up their mouth and use their voice to talk about what they believe in, or to talk about what's not okay, and to talk about making change. And I was reflecting back to Amanda this morning, that I wasn't surprised that there was resistance coming up, or that there was like something that happened, for her, like before this call, because I told her whenever I'm getting ready to like lead something or do something, it always seems that like an obstacle comes up. And for me, I really believe that that is the breakdown before the breakthrough. And I was telling Amanda, the caterpillar has to get into that cocoon and literally turn itself into mush before it can become a butterfly. So a lot of times transformation doesn't look like, okay, I'm a butterfly. It looks like wrapping yourself in a cocoon, basically your own tomb, and like dying and turning yourself to mush so that you can become something else. So if this call brought things up for you, if it feels like, oh, I might turn to mush if I lean into this, beautiful. That's awesome. Because then we'll have more butterflies on this planet. So, all right, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. Amanda, I'm so proud of you, girl. You're a superstar. Thank you for hosting this and doing this with me and making it happen and saying yes. I love you. I'm proud of you. I'm honored to work with you. And thanks everyone else for being here.
It was really, really great.
Yeah.
It was really fun, and I feel so blessed just having you all here. This is so amazing.
Oh, beautiful.
Thank you.
Everybody enjoy the rest of the day. I'm gonna go get out in the garden with my little family, and I'm here to support each and every one of you. I truly mean that. So if this resonates with you, you know, connect with whoever invited you here, and yep, together we rise. All right, yeah. Lots of love. We'll talk later. Enjoy your days. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.